Next on UConn Sports Nation, the UConn men's basketball team had another thrilling victory on Sunday. Jalen Adams brought the Huskies all the way back with the last-second layup. I'll break it down. And I also talked with new wide receiver coach Aaron Smith last week about what it means to be back at a place that he calls home. All that and more. Let's go.
Purvis lines it up and fires. He got it at three-pointer on target.
But he's just been lights out. Absolutely lights out.
Strong drive off the window up and was out of the basket in heavy traffic.
I think Kevin Ollie was looking for the end one. There appeared to be a lot of contact, and that's what you tell Vital. You tell him, hey, go to the body, see if you can't get the end one.
Below pop by Purvis, and he's starting to heat up.
Well, he scored at three different levels, right? He starts from the three-point arc, and he gets to the rim on a couple of occasions. That time he gets to the in-between game.
11-2 run. Shot clock is at 5 now. Purvis straight on, sinks it. He is sizzling.
Well, it looks over at the UConn bench, taps his chest like they got this, fellas.
Tied at 60. Another great rebound. The offense got out with the pick. Took time to line. He stayed in. He attacks. Went for the slam. The foul on the play. But Purvis will put it in play. Adams here. Holland driving it. He got it down. 2.9. UConn the lead. Boston Airborne at the buzzer. He misses it. And Connecticut has won it.
Those were some of the sounds from Sunday's epic comeback win. Second straight thrilling performance, really, for the UConn men's basketball program, coming back from a deficit and getting a W. 7-1 in the last 8 games. Welcome into UConn Sports Nation, presented by thisisyuconncountry.com. As usual, Matt Stronvisky, your host. Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, YouTube is where you can find me. And again, Rodney Purvis and Jalen Adams, the two key pieces to this UConn men's basketball team, coming through really down the stretch. Rodney Purvis, 18 points, 4 of 8 from behind the arc. Jalen Adams, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Really big all-around performance. 47% from the field, 44% from 3. Coming back from a 10-point deficit late, it was 56-46. And the Huskies went on an 18-7 run to close the game, including Jalen Adams' layup with just 2.9 seconds left. And here he was after the game talking about that final play.
Yeah, coach drew it up for me. It's supposed to be a high ball screen with me and Amita, and then coach just trusted me to make the right play.
What's been the key turnaround that's really led to this 7-1 stretch compared to where you guys were at the start of the year?
I think guys just gaining more confidence, starting with our freshmen. They don't play like freshmen no more, so I shouldn't even be calling them that. And then our seniors doing a great job leading, and then I think just everybody buying into what we're trying to do here at UConn. I think we've been able to turn our season around, dealing with injuries. It started to bother us at the beginning of the season, but we kind of phased that out.
As only a sophomore, how have you been able to adjust to this leadership role as you're really the go-to guy, the quarterback of this team offensively, really?
Definitely only being a sophomore, expected to do a lot for the team, get everybody involved, and then still score for myself. It's a big role, but I think I'm up for the challenge, and Coach Ollie's been doing a great job getting me ready to take on that challenge.
March coming right around the corner. Obviously, UConn has a very big reputation in this month. What do you think the potential is for this team moving forward?
I think we could do a lot. I think our team is a lot better than people give us credit for. That's one thing about our team. We got a lot of heart, and we every game we feel like we got a chance to win it, so we're going to play down until the last buzzer. It starts in practice. We just got to keep working hard. We can't get complacent with a few W's. We know we still got to get ready for our conference tournament, and our goal is to win that again. So hopefully we can do that, and then hopefully we get a bit into the tournament, and we believe we could do some real damage.
So things are really looking up for the UConn men's basketball team at this point in time, and it's really a good point to mention that Kevin Ollie is probably solidifying his spot after that terrible start to the year, and it looks like with the way things are going here that he's going to be back in a year. And this is exactly what this team needs as it heads back on the road against Houston this Wednesday, CBS Sports Network, 9 p.m. The third consecutive game that is absolutely huge for this program especially heading into Saturday's game at home at the XL Center against SMU. And it's really big for perception. UConn's beat a total of 4 programs this year with a winning record. Just 4. So you want to look at this 7-1 record. Yes, it's a good accomplishment, 7-1. But you take a look at who they're beating. Really, the only team in this stretch of 7-1 has been UCF, has been Memphis. This 7-1 stretch has seen 2 wins over teams with winning records. So while they are 7-1 over the last 8, they still have a lot of work to do to show that they can compete against the best in this league. And they're closing with 3 or 4 games against the top 3 teams in the American Athletic Conference. At Houston Wednesday, home against SMU this Saturday, and then home on senior night, Gamble against Cincinnati. That's still going to be the barometer. They've passed the first 2 tests. Memphis at home this past Thursday, and going on the road again, getting their 4th win on the road this season. But again, 4 wins, 4 teams they've beaten that have winning records. UCF twice, Memphis, Boston University, and Syracuse. That's it. Syracuse, Boston University, UCF twice, Memphis. The only 4 programs with winning records UConn has beaten this season. However, you want to take out in how they're playing right now, this team's taken drastic steps forward. And that's exactly what this program needs to see at this point in time. Purvis, you can't say enough. Continuing his hot streak and getting it done, really with only 6 guys once again. Against Memphis, Durham played 3 minutes, Stephen Enoch played 5, and the rest was all the top 6 guys. Against Temple, Enoch and Durham got a little more time. Durham got 9 minutes, Enoch got 10. A lot of that was due, however, to Brima being in foul trouble. He only played 18 minutes. So as Brima goes, that's going to really show how much time some of these other guys get. UConn's really going with the 7-man rotation at this point. And it's Enoch to spell time, and if he's not coming through, you're seeing Juwan Durham get some minutes. So as the Huskies regroup, get ready for Houston on the road. 18-8 overall is Houston. 9-5 tied in the standings with UConn. So the Huskies will leap over into 3rd place in the AAC with a win on Wednesday. 9-5, 14-12 overall. It's going to be a huge game down in Houston come Wednesday night, 9 p.m. So the Huskies, Kevin Ollie, Jalen Adams, Rodney Purvis, getting it done as this season is coming to a close. This regular season is coming to a close. And they're peaking in terms of execution down the stretch in games. They haven't played their best basketball yet still. You saw it at Gamble against South Florida. That was the team this team is capable of being. But they're coming through down the stretch when it matters. Now against a team like Houston, against a team like SMU, against a team like Cincinnati, you dig yourself a hole like you've been doing these last 2 games, even though they've been able to overcome these double-digit deficits. 17, like I mentioned, against Memphis. 10 this past Sunday against Temple. You can't do that against some of these higher-profile teams in terms of records, especially on the road. But after Houston, they have 1 road game left. They've got SMU, they've got Cincinnati, and then it's AAC tournament time in Hartford at the XL Center. So it's shaping up as long as they continue to improve, and really what's going to be key is Brima staying out of foul trouble. That's going to be indicative of where this team goes. Are they going to be able to compete and vault their way based on seeding to get to that final? And that's really going to be a tough final because they are going to have to go through one of SMU or Cincinnati in the semis if they make it to the semis. But we'll see how they match up. You get SMU and Hartford, Cincinnati and Gamble, and it's going to be a good test. You get them at home right before tournament time. So it's going to be a great test for the Huskies down the stretch once again. And they've been coming through, so let's see how they fare beginning again Wednesday. Can they continue this 7-1 stretch throughout the regular season? After this break, we're going to switch gears to football and wide receiver coach Aaron Smith.
You're listening to UConn Sports Nation, presented by ThisIsUConnCountry.com, where you'll find the latest news, game previews, and recruiting when it comes to UConn football.
I'm sitting here with former UConn wide receiver Aaron Smith. Aaron, welcome back to UConn, first off.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So, what does it mean to be back at your alma mater?
I think the crazy thing, as we sit here and we're looking at the stadium, my first game here was against Indiana, the opening of the stadium. So, it means a lot, and, obviously to be back to the place that I call home where I played college football, but also to be back here with Coach Edsel is definitely special.
What's your experience has been like since you graduated from UConn and moved on and started your professional career?
Well, the big thing is when you start off in the coaching field, it's like anything. You want to build on the things that you learned, and I felt playing for Coach Edsel learned a lot about respect and doing things the right way, and and being accountable. So that's the way I've tried to coach and tried to pass that on to the guys that I've coached, and the big thing is just do things right.
What was your reaction when you got the call from Coach Edsel?
When I first got the call, I did a double take at the phone because, obviously you dream about coming back to a place that's special to you, and this place is. I was excited to hear from him, and, I was excited for him when he got the job, just as somebody that's, that benefited from being underneath him and learning about just life. So when I got the call, I was really excited, and I was like, let's go do it.
You were part of some pretty good teams that really built this program from the ground up back in the day. What's it been like watching this program struggle since Coach Edsel did leave?
Well, I'd say this. It's you look at it from a different view when you're a coach. So my focus was mainly on the, my players and the guys that I was with, and obviously this place is special. But you look at it differently when you're a coach. You're kind of really focused on where you're at. So I always paid attention because either I had friends that weren't in the staff here, or people involved in the program, and you want the program to be successful. So I'm excited to be back, and hopefully we can get this thing rolling again.
You specifically, you coming from Albany, right?
Yes.
So what can you take from the experience you learned as a coach, bring it to this level?
I think the big thing is, it's about people, and I think that's one thing that Coach Edsel's big on, and it's about development. When you recruit to Albany, it's different than recruiting to maybe a Villanova, maybe a JMU, maybe a Delaware. That's a little bit more established program. So you have to find the right guys, the guys that fit, and you got to coach them that way. And to me, that symbolizes what Coach has done here at UConn. I mean, he's found the right players and been successful with them and turned them into really good football players and productive men in society, but also guys that are playing in the NFL, which is remarkable. When you walk down the hallway of the complex and you see all the names on the wall, it's pretty. And some of those guys were, I played with, and some of those guys were basically, puppies when I was a senior. But to see the success, it's really about, the young men that you bring in, development, and trying to build that foundation.
I'm sure you've gotten some calls from some of your former teammates. What's the reaction been like?
Well, I think that the crazy thing is when it first happened, I was actually in Connecticut. My wife's from here, and cell phones were buzzing. Everybody was really excited, because we know what coaches, and some people see what he's done, as far as wins and with this program, but more importantly, the opportunities that guys have gotten since this, and not just in coaching. I mean, whatever that guys are in, they owe a lot to Coach Edsel. We talk about that constantly. So when he got the job, I think we were all excited. And then since I've joined the staff, obviously I've talked to a lot of those guys, and I think everybody's excited about the potential of what this place can be, and that Coach is back, and we're all excited to get this thing rolling.
I don't think you've ever been through a coaching change, but seeing the guys, the players that are still here, how's that process going?
I haven't been through it as a player, but I've obviously when you coach football, you go through it and you leave guys behind, or vice versa. I think the big thing is they have an understanding of what Coach has done before, so I think that they're really excited about taking the next step and getting to know us, and us getting the chance to know them, and they're excited to play football. I mean, they came here to get a great education, have a great experience, but to win football games. So I think they're excited about us. We're excited about getting around them, and we're all ready to go.
Have you been back to a game since you graduated?
I came back to one game. My college roommate, was on the staff at the time, and we had a bye week. When you coach college football, you don't see any college football games. So I happened to be recruiting in the area, so I came and watched the game. It was a little surreal to sit in the stands and see a UConn game.
So I'm sure you're looking forward to getting back on this field.
Absolutely. The first, the opening night's going to be crazy. Obviously with all the excitement, new staff, but like to look around and to see the structure, being here before, it's going to be special.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're listening to UConn Sports Nation, presented by ThisIsUConnCountry.com, where you'll find the latest news, game previews, and recruiting when it comes to UConn football.